All right. Jumping into the next one. So back to Shelby County Schools, Shelby County, Memphis City Schools. Um, but it's good to see that Dr. Fegans is definitely on a press run. She's doing all she can to be out in front of the cameras. I want to say that this is probably the most I've ever seen a educational superintendent be in front of the camera promoting um, MSCS, which is a good thing. I think that is good that she is in front of the camera. Um, she's trying to make her mark. So I don't know how the teachers feel about Dr. Fegans, like what the real stories are. But I know that you will step on some toes during the initial, part of your process of trying to implement absolutely anything. Everybody's not going to be happy about it, you know, but you know, and you just have to be aware of it going in. But she. I'd love to hear any teacher that has an opinion on Dr. Fegans and how she's operated from your point of view, and is she who we see in the public? That would be interesting to hear. All right, so new MSCS superintendent not shying away from tough decisions. All right, new head of Memphis Shelby County Schools is not shying away from some of her recent decisions that caught some people by surprise. In a wide-ranging interview on WREG's Informed Sources, Dr. Marie Fegans, the new superintendent of Memphis Shelby County Schools, gives candid insight about her new role and making tough and perhaps controversial decisions, such as cutting 1,100 jobs. The perception of the community, I understand this seems very fast and quick and without thought, but it was certainly done with deep thought and intentional thinking. I think for me, it was about receiving the suggestions about who it should be, and I wanted to take the time to make sure that it was a decision I could own. But the cuts foster intimidation, but did the cuts foster intimidation or disrespect for employees? Dr. Fegan says, I would imagine some of those same employees emailed me even long before I started officially about bullying, about intimidation, about a general culture that exists that we need to focus on strengthening. But I don't own that culture, she said. As for the district, Dr. Fegan says the central office was top heavy. The magic happens in the classroom. And that's where we need to get the greatest level of support, Fegan said. That comes through teachers, professional school counselors, nurses, social workers, school psychologists, speech pathologists, and certainly our graduation coaches as we think about our rate of 81%. So how do we get to 100%, right? She says 3 troubled areas will be addressed: literacy, truancy, and absenteeism. Absenteeism. We provide our deepest investments there. We provide our deepest investments there. So the wrap around support as we think about community schools models and what really means to give a school, give students, give parents what they need. They need resource wise to show, and that improves attendance and decreases chronic absenteeism and truancy, she said. Dr. Marie Fegans is making tough decisions and saying the time for change is now. I think before I arrived here, they waited long enough. And if we keep waiting to do the thing that we know is inevitable and the things that are necessary, then who are we as leaders if we can't make the right decisions? Dr. Fegan says, as the district goes, so does the city of Memphis. It's another reason she says our students and city cannot afford to fail. It's true. It's true. I'm sure she won't be popular. I'm sure she won't be popular. But you know what? One thing that I've learned over time, sometimes if you know that you're doing the right thing or you're doing it for the right reasons, and you're looking at the situation for what it is, or you're looking at it from a clear point of view, even if you're doing something that's unpopular at the time, people don't like, you may not even like it. Then you look back and you say, ooh, I'm glad somebody did that. Even if she didn't make it through this period of time, I'm glad somebody did that. And it is true. As the kids go, so goes the city. It's our turn. If you're 30, 40 years old right now, it's our turn to carry this torch into the future and do as much as we can to make sure that, we're guiding the kids and young adults behind us in a good direction and passing down something to them. Something's being passed down to us, and now we have to pass it down to them. So we need to make sure that we're doing our part. And so it's good that she's in a position where she can affect change on a drastic level. You got to remember that part. So she's able to actually have a major effect on the direction of the city because she is dealing with adolescents, young youth. And if she does make the right decisions, or it's our job to give her the room to make whatever decisions need to be made, because there's a chance that it can benefit the city as a whole. Now, if there's something egregious that's being done, then obviously that needs to be voiced. Someone needs to speak up about that. But from all things that have been seen so far, if the consensus says that MSCS was top heavy, the general person, somebody that doesn't know much about that particular topic, is going to believe that it was top heavy. If there's 1,100 jobs to cut, I'd love to see the types of jobs that they're cutting. But if it's 1,100 jobs and a large amount of that, a large percentage of that is in the administration building, and she's trying to get the majority of those people into the classrooms, and there's going to be a percentage of increase in, I guess, literacy, truancy, and absenteeism. Y'all gotta excuse me. I have a little dyslexia, so my tongue gets tied sometimes. But all that considered, let's let her work. In my opinion, I'd love to hear somebody else's to see what they have to say about it, because you may have a totally different viewpoint that makes a whole lot more sense. I don't know. I like to be as even as possible, though. I like to give people chances. So I guess we'll see in the next couple of months kind of what that's about and whether or not. And we'll also see after this next school year the results of what's happened, at least. Because obviously it being summertime right now, the middle of July, we don't know whether or not what she's doing is going to translate into the classroom. So we have to wait till the fall. And you can get reports from your kids. You can ask them specifically, does it seem like there's more teachers in the room now? Does it seem, or in the school now, does it seem like X, Y, Z? They'll be the real way to find out the benefits, the positives or negatives from what's been done during the summertime. I'm looking forward to hearing about it. All right, so I'm going to cut it there for now. Not a whole bunch, but enough. And so I'm going to start promoting these videos. I haven't up to this point. Kind of wanted to get inside the chair and start getting the hang of it and set a specific schedule, and I think that I have it now. So we'll start promoting. We'll have regular like news types of videos initially. Obviously, whenever there's a council meeting, that'll be covered also. With a little bit of commentary, sometimes better than some others. And we'll start getting more into like Memphis history and just stuff like that. There'll be all types of things going on inside on the channel. So watch the ones that you want to watch, but please watch, like, comment, and subscribe. If you can, that'd be I'd be grateful for that. And I would love to have a platform where we're discussing something as a whole. So thank you for joining me today, and have a great one. All right.